how to protect your Amazon business during an acquisition. So it seems like right now acquisitions are just happening left and right. I'm talking to my different Amazon seller clients and they're telling me that they're going through an acquisition or they're listing their business for sale or they're talking to a broker, or those companies that are acquiring all these different Amazon companies are reaching out to me and wanting help with our services and stuff. So it just seems like it's hot right now. So John from Seller Candy, figured we'd make a video because John from Seller Candy helps a lot of Amazon sellers through acquisition processes and has some tips to lend there. So let's go ahead and jump into it, starting with introducing you to John. What's up, John?
Hey, Ian. Thanks for having me again. It's great to be back here.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for jumping on this video with me. So what is Seller Candy and what is your role at the company?
Cool. Yeah. So I founded Seller Candy. We've been going for about 18 months now. And what we do is we support sellers, sellers at scale, anyone doing, between 30,000 and $1 million a month in really delivering the service they want to on their Amazon account by taking all of the back end work off their hands. So what we do is we do all the dirty work. We deal with seller support. We do cases. We do merging listings. We do suppressions. We do audits. We do the stuff which is really frustrating and takes time, so that they can focus on, growing the business and getting more money if they want to sell it eventually.
If at any time during this video you do want to go check out Seller Candy and try them out for a month or two, then be sure to mention this video or Ian with Evolve Media and you'll save $100 on your first month of using Seller Candy. So definitely remember to mention Ian with Evolve Media when you sign up. And if you guys watching don't know who I am, my name is Ian Smith. I run an Amazon marketing agency where we work with a lot of Amazon sellers and we help them with off Amazon marketing mostly. So we help them with downloading their Amazon customer data, like the names, mailing addresses, emails, and phone numbers, and then marketing to those Amazon customers off Amazon through Facebook ads, Google ads, email marketing, SMS text marketing, direct mail. We run a lot of rebate campaigns. We help Amazon sellers basically with ranking higher and getting more reviews. So if any of that sounds interesting to you and you want to book a free consulting call with me, then head over to evolvemedia.agency. If you're really interested in downloading your data, then head over to ema.evolvemedia.agency and you can learn more about our data download service. So let's go ahead and jump into the 4 tips that we have for you guys when protecting and trying to go through an acquisition and making sure that your Amazon account is protected, making sure that none of your listings go down and you don't have any kind of craziness go on with your listings, because that's the worst time to have craziness go on. So John, I'll throw it over to you. What is tip number 1?
Tip number 1, as I was going to share with you before, in the last 6 months, 3 of our clients have been acquired by different aggregators. It's a super hot market right now, and everyone's looking for support in getting this done.
That's the word I was looking for earlier, aggregators. I talk to a lot of aggregators. Forget that word all the time.
Yeah, they're aggressively approaching people. So anyone who's doing more than a certain amount of revenue has probably got some emails, probably got some letters. Everyone's had them. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Tip number 1 is about auditing and reimbursements. For example, this is a good example. We onboarded a new client, a friend of mine, 3 weeks ago onto our system. We ran his reimbursements and we got him $100,000 back from Amazon for the last between 6 and 12 months worth of data, depending on whether it was, what type of reimbursement it was. But if the average aggregator is now paying 4.5 or 5x, that means that would be an extra $450,000 in business value that he would have got if he was willing to sell. But he's not selling; he's growing super fast.
Okay, so just reimbursements is a great way to get cash back in. And then what does that do for your business valuation? Does it make you look sexier to the aggregators or the people buying your company?
Well, it's pure profit. So, we call it revenue recovery at Seller Candy, but we're recovering your revenue. So, and it's actually more like profit recovery because this is all profit. So Amazon's losing somewhere between 1% and 3% a month worth of your revenue by not reimbursing you for returns, for warehouse damage, for fulfillment center transfer. And we find this revenue and we give it back to our clients.
Awesome. Wow. So define a little bit more. I've always been super curious as to what exactly the reimbursements are, and you touched on it a little bit, but what exactly could it be when you say that it's lost FBA inventory? What does that mean exactly?
So there's a few. Yes, there's lost FBA inventory, and that means that literally stuff that's in the warehouse, Amazon's been moving it around and it's disappeared. And they don't catch that. So you have to run all the reports in the back end, run them through our algorithm, and it spits out basically an inventory report showing what inventory has disappeared during the process, during Amazon messing with your stuff.
And so is that money
that
Amazon basically just gives you for your inventory?
Yeah, and they pay you out retail. So
Okay.
it's retail money. And like I said, there was $80,000+ of my friend's business, well, one of now a client's business from 3 weeks ago. So that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
There's also fulfillment center transfer. So literally when they're moving it between the fulfillment centers, it falls off the back of a truck or they lose it somewhere. And there's no report in Amazon that lets you do that. You have to actually get your teams do that manually. So download all the reports of moving from one fulfillment center to another and match it up.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of things that could be within this like reimbursement definition. So what would you say account number 2, account health, tip number 2, account health and compliance?
So, aggregators or anyone that's buying your business is going to do a due dil and deep audit of your business. So you need to make sure you've covered off all the bits which you've known you're supposed to have done when you were running your business, but you haven't done. Like I know many FBA sellers and they, Amazon doesn't raise anything. So they're like, oh, it'll be okay. But this is all the stuff which should be looked at. So account health issues, whether you've got any like warnings sitting on there for a while, whether there's like compliance issues with your products and you should have certificates like child safety certificates or, supplement certificates. Like make sure you've got them. And, so you've got someone to guide you on what you need. Because, the worst things is somebody coming along and then saying they want something and you not having it, and then it delaying the whole sales process just because you don't have some certificate, which is easy to get.
Yeah. Okay. So just making sure everything is buttoned up tidy and is looking good as far as all the little things like that. So, okay. So tip number 3, what is the next thing that sellers should make sure they have in check?
So really it's just, this is what we wrote down earlier when we were chatting was suspensions and getting things back. So it's more like protection. So like actually making sure that should anything go down, you have the process in place to get it back. Because we had a couple of our clients have listings go down during the sales process. I think we're going to make another video diving a bit deeper into that. But if something goes down, you want to get it back immediately and be able to give the reason why it went down and show the appeal that you've created to the buyer so that they're like, oh, it was just this, we fixed it, it was a day, it doesn't matter. Not like I spent 3 weeks arguing with Amazon seller support back and forth until they finally gave it to me back, because the buyer, you don't want to freak them out. And just having someone on call who can fix that stuff is super useful, super important.
Yeah, that would definitely be stressful if you have an ASIN that's doing 20 to 50 grand a month in sales, and that's adding to a good, chunk of value for your business. And then during the acquisition process, that big old ASIN goes down, and now all of a sudden your business could be valued a lot less because one of your biggest ASINs is down. So that would definitely be a bummer. So it's cool that you guys help sellers get those suspended accounts back up. And yeah, you're going to share a really cool story in another video that we create where we talk about how you're able to save the day.
I was going to say, you said 20 to 50K a month, but the ASIN that we helped with last was doing it was like number 28 in automotive or something like that. Like, I don't know what it was doing per month, but yeah, way more than 50K a month.
Yeah. So, I mean, probably 7 figures a month, you think?
7 figures a month, maybe in Q4. But I think, during the rest of it, it was definitely a multi-6-figure a month ASIN.
Wow. Okay. So tip number 4 is going to be coming from me. So it's going to be talking about downloading your Amazon customer data and really just getting your customer data, whether you download it from a service like what we offer, or you get it through a product insert, or you get it somehow from your customers. You get their email address, their phone number, any way to be able to reach them off of Amazon. That's going to give you a higher valuation on your company, because now you have more ownership over that communication channel with that customer. So the value there is that when you launch new products, when you expand your product line, when you want to ask for reviews, when you want to rank higher for certain keyword phrases, I mean, you just have a lot more control over your business, and it starts to feel more like your business versus Amazon's business. Because if you have no way to reach your customers whatsoever, I mean, what real value do you have there? It seems more like it's Amazon's asset, Amazon's business, because if Amazon wanted to just turn off your lights, you would have pretty much nothing, which happens a lot more often than I think sellers are really used to. So really just tip number 4 is just taking ownership, somehow getting ownership over your customer data, over that relationship, over that communication channel, and then using that communication channel to actually communicate with them and warm up that relationship off of Amazon. Because if you have just this massive list of emails, but you're not using that at all to communicate with people, it's pretty much worthless, and it's not going to be as powerful when you do reach out to talk to them.
Yeah, I agree. And like we talked about last time when we were chatting, I was like, the reason I would use a service like yours for that is because even if I got the data, I have no idea how to run like an off Amazon marketing campaign to actually engage people. So I don't want to just burn the data I paid a load of money to acquire. Because that would be super important to me.
Yeah, so there are your 4 tips, guys. Hopefully you got value from this. Again, if you're trying to sell your business, definitely test out and try to get some of these tips taken care of. Get your Amazon customer data, reach out to John with Seller Candy, and make sure that all of the account health and safety measures and suspensions and everything is just, all the wrinkles are ironed out in your Amazon business. Thanks again for John for jumping on this video with me. And if you want to save $100 on your first month with Seller Candy, then be sure to mention that you saw this video, Ian with Evolve Media, and you'll save $100 on your first month. John, anything else that you want to add before we wrap up?
No, that's great. Thanks for having me. And I'm super excited to help anyone out who's having these issues or has any issue that they're dealing with seller support with at the moment, because we can basically do anything that you're doing with seller support.
Awesome. Thanks again, John, for jumping on. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.